Alright guys, how have you been doing? We have more Heroes of the Storm content for you today, and it's the start of the Enter the Nexus final tournament. The top 16 that have been qualified over the last few months are finally now playing, and we have our first best of 3 series in the round of 16 here at the tournament. In the winners bracket, we're playing a winners and a losers bracket, and it is Nihilum going up against Team Alternate Fancy. Both of the teams have been doing very well in the recent past, and we're going to find out which one is going to be able to advance in the winners bracket here. Our first map is going to be Dragonite, and well, without further ado guys, let's jump right into it, the first game between Nihilum and Alternate Fancy.
Welcome everybody! We are in game number 1 of the Enter the Storm final. We're in the round of the 16 right now, and this is a best of 3 series between Nihilum and Alternate Fancy. Dragonite is the first map in the best of 3, and starting to the left side of the map we have Nihilum with Alex, the Pro G, playing Illidan. Vauntil on Malfurion. We have Rollick in this case on Jaina. Tazdingo is playing Zagara, and Stalk Muradin. Like, they picked Muradin immediately to make sure that he can't be counterpicked against Illidan. To the right side of the map currently, as you can see, we're having Blumby on Tyrael for Alternate Fancy. Davis is playing Vala. We're having Happy on Brightwing, and at the same time here also Darkmog on Zeratul, as Crosby is playing Sylvanas. I'm not quite sure what exactly this delay is, but apparently this is a good one. Crosby's leg hurts apparently. He had to go AFK real quick. I'm not quite sure what exactly that means, but like, that's the best excuse for an early pause that I have ever heard in my life. Gives us the opportunity to talk a bit about the about the lineups, about like also the players here. So the first thing that I want to really talk about is this Illidan up here at the top. If you saw the draft screen, then you all know already that Kerrigan was banned out by Alternate Fancy, and a few of you might be thinking like, why exactly would you ever ban Kerrigan out? What kind of shenanigans is that? The reason is actually quite simple. Alex is such a good Kerrigan player that most of the teams that really played against Nihilum in the past just say like, yeah, we really don't want to deal with this. You guys know exactly how to play with Kerrigan. He's a great Kerrigan as well, so we're going to ban her out so that you can't play your favorite composition. Alex the Pro G, therefore, on Illidan this time, and with Illidan we had an immediate pick on Muradin, just to make sure that Muradin with his Reverberation talent on level 1 can't be chosen as a counter to Illidan there. You can already see that Reverberation is still chosen for him. We're having Reconstitution on the side of Zagara. Lingering Chilled is currently being played by Jaina, and Conjurer's Pursuit on the side of Malfurion, whereas Shadow Shield is of course the starting talent for Illidan. No big surprises about that. To the right side, looking at the talents, we don't really have too much here just yet, but on Tyrael we can of course expect Smite on level 1 taken. Vala could go for a multi-shot build, but in this case against Illidan there's also a chance that we are going to see an auto-attack build, and seeing her going for Rancor on level 1. With Brightwing these days is actually a bit of a different question. On this map in particular you have quite a lot of camps on the map, so you can go for Bribe, but we've seen a lot of scouting drones taken, maybe not necessarily on Dragonite, but especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And Brightwing could of course also go into additional talents with the extra damage in the center. So apparently Crosby had a bit of a crap in his leg. That's not really the best start into the game, I assume, but yeah, that's going to be fun. So let's see how this is going to work out for them now. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, so the game, ladies and gentlemen, is going to start here in a second. And yeah, let's see. So right now we're having Tazdingo, Rollick, Vauntil. Everybody is just now in the mid lane at this point and starting to move in. We're having only one hero at the top lane, and that is Illidan in this case. So Illidan already saying like, you know what guys, I don't really like you, you should shower again, because to be honest, yeah, I'm sure it's a hard truth to hear, but you smell. So he's not even going into the mid lane, he's just basically saying like, alright, I'm not gonna deal with this just now, I'm gonna be up at the top and doing my thing. Vala is agreeing with that sentiment and is already rushing in. Davis, actually, the man or the woman with a cramp in his leg. I still can't believe that really happened. By the way, we're having scouting drone taken on level 1 here on the side of Brightwing friend. So in this case, it is scouting drone. You see it a lot more often on Tomb of the Spider Queen, but in general, it's just a great talent to take, and this one is no exception. So right now, down to the bot lane, it's basically just like a rotation that we are seeing on this map. It's very, very popular that you have a few heroes that rotate between mid and bottom and just try to apply some additional pressure. Stalk is in the middle of things. Oh, and they're trying to go for a kill on Brightwing. Oh, nice snipe. Really well done here from Nihilum, moving in, having the stun, the burst damage from Jaina, and getting then also Malfurion with an additional root. That was definitely well timed. Very well done here. So great game by them. And, well, let's see. We're having, at the bot lane, still the shrine taken by Team Alternate Fancy. And in the mid lane, where we are seeing Tazdingo and Rolik, it's actually interesting to see this kind of laning pair dominating the mid right now. I guess Rolik is going to be able to play... well, it's a lot of safety for Zagara, actually, having here on a lane like that in the middle as well. Like, if everybody makes the good calls by AFK heroes, and this is a pretty powerful lane, since Zagara will be able to push a lot. And as long as you push the mid lane out, you usually have control over that dragon statue. And that's, I guess, what they're aiming for. Interestingly enough, by the way, we do not see the Smite talent taken on level 1. It's a bit more popular these days to go for the explosion talent. So, at the same time, Tazdingo maybe a bit in trouble after all. Skirted the edges of the creep here, and just barely getting away, but Vontil on the Mecha Spider is moving in. This is actually like a pretty cool mount that you can get. If you play that Facebook game, then you can get a mount, and it is pretty fun, I have to admit. But well, next week the carpet is on sale, and my wallet is ready, so yeah. Darkmok here is already rocking it, so I really like that carpet. The Golden Tiger is also pretty cool. God, I'm too much a fan of these mounts, I feel. But guys, even though all of these things that I just mentioned are pretty nice, the one thing that tops them all is, of course, the money pig. Oink, oink. And we're having the level 4 talent, so that's probably something that we should pay a bit more attention to. We're seeing Immolation on Illidan. Definitely, like, there's one build on Illidan. You have a few adjustments, I would say, on level 20 and level 13, but that's about it. In this case, we're having Arcane Intellect also taken on Jaina, so the extra mana for her. Currently, it looked like Crosby was thinking about jumping to the Haunting Wave to put some additional pressure on Zagara, but Tazdingo was already moving out, and jumping into those towers is always a big risk. You lose too much HP, and if you don't get the kill for it, then you're in a bit of trouble. Rotation again, after pushing out the mid lane, they're rotating down to the bot, and that's where we are seeing an attempted kill, but Nihilum is paying attention. Nihilum is ahead in experience. It's just barely ahead, but they are a tiny little bit ahead of their opponents. So that's working out for them. To the top lane, Alex the Pro G is capping the first shrine. It's actually the second one for Nihilum. And they have 2 of the heroes in the mid lane, but the rotation from Alternate Fancy is trying to prevent that. Moldy should build for Vala with the Arsenal on level 4 and the Composite Arrow on level 1. And interesting, we're seeing the Vorpal Blades on Zeratul. Like, it is going to be one of those right-click builds that we're currently seeing in the game. Only question at this point, of course, is if at level 7 we are going to see him go for follow-through. Which there is a pretty big chance, by the way. Once again, moving in. Oh, the good stun against Sylvanas, but, well, Darkmok and Bloomby are still in the area, so you can't really do too much damage. The kill on Sylvanas is not really something that you can bank your hopes on. We're having a double, look at that, double battle momentum on the side of Team Nihilum. They're using it on Zagara and also on Muradin. For Muradin, of course, it's quite understandable because you want to get the extra thunderclaps in during those fights. But on Zagara, you oftentimes see endless creep and all the heal, and in this case, battle momentum just allows her to push even stronger. So interesting to see that. We're having at the bot lane already the move in. Stork together with Vontil and Tazdingo is applying pressure at the bot, taking down the towers here. Brightwing is looking for friends, and Tazdingo, Vontil and Stork apparently heard the call and immediately moving back. Yep, over here, double coming in. Darkmok and Happy are on their way. Oh, but Rolik might be a bit too far out. Yes, this time Darkmok is actually tanking the shots of the towers. He gets the kill. Stork is trying to get the counter kill here. Doesn't even bother to throw a Storm Bolt at Zeratul because he already knows that Blink is ready by now again. So yeah, no real reason to do that and waste that mana. Down to the bot lane, we're having Bloomby capturing the first shrine. And so far I'm really liking this game. I mean, like, we have one kill versus a kill. There's a lot of pressure. There's really good pace by both of the teams trying to get the dragon statue here. Good lockdown against Darkmok, and Zeratul, wow, gets away, but Muradin doesn't. Vontil, what? He didn't even have a hit point bar anymore. That was crazy. Vontil just barely survives in this case. And now in the mid lane, we're having the entire Alternate Fancy team making sure that Nihilum doesn't get the first Dragonite. But really nice game so far. I'm liking it. We're 6 minutes in, and we didn't see a single Dragonite. Oftentimes, we are seeing the Dragonite even before the 2-minute mark if one of the teams gets an early kill here. Not so in this case. At the bot lane, Tazdingo, Bloomby, and Happy, they are all there. Tazdingo is now Tazdingo is actually going over the entire map, isn't he? There's creep everywhere. He's giving them vision, but in this case, he just did not not see this one coming. The rotations from Alternate Fancy are strong, and right now we had 2 heroes already busy taking the first Siege Giant camp of the game, and therefore there was not really a chance for them to help their ally out. We have searing attacks taken, so this is kind of interesting. This is like one of the auto attack Zeratul builds that we've seen in the past already. It's not the one that is really popular right now. We would need a few additional talents for that, or a few different ones, but it's still one that can of course do a lot of damage. The searing attacks not only on Zeratul taken on level 7, but also on Vala, and now we even have the heroic abilities for both of the teams on the board, which of course is Wailing Arrow, Void Prison, Shrines taken out, and Vontil needs to have the Moonfire ready soon. No, well, he doesn't really just yet, because at the bot lane another shrine has been taken by Nihilum. So still this back and forth the entire time. More being chosen, Water Elemental, Tranquility, Avatar, and Metamorphosis on the side of Nihilum. Strafe, Blink Heal. Interesting to see. Yeah, Blink Heal is actually kind of interesting. I feel like we could talk about this a bit, because oftentimes against Illidan compositions, jumper compositions in general, you see Brightwing players not go for Blink Heal, but going for the Emerald Wind instead, because you can isolate a hero from the rest of the team, and for Illidan that usually means death. But they want to have the extra heal in there, and Blink Heal is the way more popular talent these days, that's for certain. We're having also Judgment taking on Tyrael, Strafe on Vala, the Wailing Arrow, Void Prison, I think I mentioned those already earlier. And still the pressure at the bot lane. Malfurion over here, he's clearly outmatched by Zeratul, but the only thing that he's doing is just sitting there, taking the experience, and that's about it. Alex, up at the top, is doing his thing, but on Illidan, of course, time is your friend, since, not Brightwing, but time. Because the longer the game goes, the stronger you usually get. At the beginning, it's pretty tricky without those extra talents on, for example, level 4 and level 7 to get the damage in and also to have the self-sustain, but once you are hitting Metamorphosis, that's where the fun really begins. Over here, though, Devis apparently with a good strafe and the help of Darkmock taking down Malfurion, and suddenly this creates a bit of an imbalance on the map. One hero is down for quite some time, Bot Shrine has been capped by Alternate Fancy, but Nihilum at the top has taken the Sun Shrine thanks to Alex the Frog. We're seeing Crosby already moving in, Stalk is there, 2 left trying to defend as well. Dingo has to deal with 2 players again, and this might be the first Dragonite. Stalk is trying to stun that out. Alex is also moving in. Crosby is there. Top shrine taken. Bottom shrine as well. Crosby immediately being pushed back in the rotation of the bot lane to capture the shrine and make sure that Alternate Fancy doesn't get the Dragonite. By the way, this is the time in the game when I have to make fun of Rolik. For the longest time I was like, yeah, Rolik, that's actually a pretty nice nickname, and I think we should probably talk about that later, because the action is starting again as oh, the bubble! Dingo is trying to reach it as well, but he's too late, and there's the kill already. So Taz is down, and that allows Alternate Fancy pressure that they use to push in the bot lane again. Now there's both of the shrines in the hands of Nihilum, but for how long, that's the question, since we're having Jaina now moving in. And well, Jaina being played by Rolik, that's the perfect setup that I needed to start talking about his nickname again. So for the longest time I really thought that Rolik is not really a remarkable nickname. It's not a bad one, but I was like, ah, well, whatever, that's fine. Until I realized, or I was told, that it's actually Khaldor backwards. And I feel we really have to make fun about that. We gave Blood Dragon a bit of shit for his 12-year-old nickname, and Khaldor? Really, Rolik? Really? Is that what you want to be called? Alright, Khaldor. So the Khaldor on Jaina, the Khaldor Jaina basically, if you so want, is currently, yeah, actually doing a pretty decent job, and took Ice Block on level 13. Little 13 talents are now in play, and with double Ice Block on Jaina and Malfurion, it's not only Khaldor that is very safe, but also Vontil. But well, are they safe enough? Because right now it looks like we're seeing Alternate Fancy moving in once again. Oh, Vontil keeping himself alive here. Already a bit of zoning happening. Stalk jumped back and made sure that everybody else had to move away from him here. Already using his avatar form as well, so a couple of their rogue abilities are already down. We're seeing Void Prison still in cooldown. Khaldor in trouble, but being saved by Vontil. Oh, the Ice Block, perfect timing, really well done, negating the judgment. Khaldor with a place. Oh my god, like that was really good. The double kill against Alternate Fancy, and they're even getting more than that. They're getting 4 in total. They kill Vala and Brightwing. That Ice Block was just perfectly timed. Oh, look at Jaina. Khaldor rocking the carpet here. Very well done. But yeah, so that was actually like pretty cool. I have to admit that was a perfect spell that he used there. It doesn't get any better than that. If you keep yourself alive against Zeratul that's already pressuring you, and then also against the Turiel that is trying to just like cast justice upon you, then you have been done a good job. So apparently Jaina was innocent. Whatever Turiel was trying to blame her with, he found her not guilty. That's the only reason why I can feel that he went away with a just judgment there. Be it as it may, doesn't really matter. 15 versus 15, what really matters is that we have the big guy in the game. The Dragonite, and he's punting already. Darkmok is the one who's like at the other end of the screen all of a sudden. He's like, why me? Didn't you kick somebody else, dude? But nope, they couldn't. Kazdingo already there, and well, up at the front, Stork seems to be soaking the shots from the fort. Now they're moving back. They're moving back already. 60 talents, really important here, coming into play for Nihilum. This is still the first map in the best of 3 series. Hardened Focus, taken Malfurion. He couldn't go for the Life Seed on level 13. He chose Ice Block over that. But with Hardened Focus, he gets his cooldown reduction, of course, and therefore we are going to see him use especially the healing spell a lot more often. The problem is that he's already being attacked by Darkmok again. Here comes the Ice Block. They're trying to go for Zeratul, but Kazdingo dropping out of that Dragonite in exactly the wrong moment. That Void Prism was just a bit too good, and this time casting Judgment again. Blumby feels very righteous right now because this time he got a target. We have 2 kills already for Alternate Fancy in this last engagement, and this is kill number 3. Vontil didn't get away on Malfurion, so all of a sudden it is actually Alternate Fancy that takes the lead in the game in experience, and they're also going for the first fort of the game. They have their 16 talents, and with the triple blood for blood that they're currently running on Tyrael, Vala and Sylvanas, they have of course the opportunity to use that aggressive with Quitterize and then just simply jump in and take a target down. Talking also a bit about the builds, we have Assassin's Blade taken on level 13. I didn't really touch upon that just yet, but I feel it's pretty important when we're talking about the Zeratul build because you won't see this one too often. So this is also a pretty interesting one. You do extra damage with this one, you have Berserk in there, the Searing attacks, the Warple Blade. So damage is really everything for Zeratul, and it's more about the individual single target damage than anything else. So we're having him at 17,000, but don't be fooled by that stat, because the thing is, as long as he takes a target down, it doesn't really matter how much more damage he does against the rest of the team. If he kills Vontil, for example, or puts a lot of pressure on him, Vontil is going to be in a lot of trouble and won't be able to just heal the opponent's team as much as he would like to. And we have him on 30,000 heals, yeah, against 34,000 on Brightwing. Tyrael, of course, also with a bit of assistance. And the main damage dealers in this game, still Sylvanas. I mean, that Withering Arrow, or the Withering Fire that you have is pretty strong. And then you also have the Wailing Arrow in itself, which does a fair amount of damage. So all of that adds up over time, as you can see. At this point, the hard camp, or the bruiser camp, is at the top lane, but the push is already starting, and if you have Sylvanas in your team, then you always want to push. Of course, we're also seeing Zagara for the opponent, and that means that at least at this point, Zagara is starting to pay off, because, well, that's a fort for them. It's basically a trade. It's basically a trade that they're currently having here. We see up at the top currently the wall already reached towards the keep, and that is a big problem at this point, because right now, I think they should be able to outpush, shouldn't they? But they don't even go for the wall. Look at that. They just went through the side. An ingenious move by them. I really like that. That was the perfect move on the side of the Nihilum. I'm loving it. They get the keep. They just move back and they do not care. Throwing their hands in the air like they just don't care. And it worked. They just went through the wall. How awesome is that? Like, that is amazing. I'm loving this. I've seen this in the early alpha, I think, when Tempo Storm, back then Symbiote Gaming, used that once and just tried to rush an opponent. But since then, I haven't really seen this too often, maybe once or twice. But that was great. Trading that, forcing the opponent to TP back. Both of them, of course, lost the keep here. But I still feel like that was a pretty decent move here on the side of Nihilum. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. So all of a sudden, they realized that even with Sylvanas, they can't push faster simply because they didn't come up with the idea to move through the wall, but instead tried to kill the gate. Very well done here. That was a fun one. But the top lane, it's again Shrine versus Shrine, and they forced so far Alternate Fancy down to the bottom lane. So that's pretty cool. Up at the top lane, we're currently having the wall taken as well. Everybody is mounting up here. Oh, rocking the carpet. Oh, Khaldor being attacked. by Darkmog, but there's already a Thunderclap reducing his right clicks, of course. But still, they need to be careful, because fighting this with a level 20 on their opponents, they don't want to do that, but apparently they have to. Here comes already the bubble against Illidan, and they're jumping in. Zagara is dead. The level 20 talent for Alternate Fancy is just so damn strong, and Stork is trying to create some space for the rest of the team, sacrificing himself and dying here in the backline. But now it's a 5 versus 3, and the keep is already gone. They're going straight for the core here, at least they want to. We have on level 20 Nexus Blades taken for Zeratul. We're seeing a Hardened Shield as well, and they're going for core right now. They're trying to right-click this. Rolik is trying to do his thing. There's also Malfurion with the root, but so much damage already on the core. Ice Block has been chosen. Here comes the Strafe, taking both of them down. Only Illidan is back, but he is not that strong. This is something that even Illidan cannot solve. He was not prepared, and he dies a painful death. Game number 1 ending in favor of Team Alternate Fancy here at the ETS2 Finals.
Alternate Fancy, they take the first game, they win on Dragonshire here, and especially that Zeratul build that is pretty unique to the team, really did a whole lot of work there, putting so much pressure on the squishies that it was really difficult for Nihilum to get into these fights. Map number 2 coming up next, and of course for Nihilum already everything is on the line here. They need to win this map, they need to win 2 in a row now if they want to advance in the winner's bracket, and the game is played on Blackheart's Bay. The map choice was actually Nihilum, so they're very confident on this map here, and we have an Illidan composition coming into play now on the side for Alternate Fancy, and this is going to be a pretty exciting one. Not only do we have Illidan, we also have Kalthas here, we have Mirrodin in their comp, but we have one thing on the side of Nihilum that is already promising a lot of fun: Kerrigan. Alex the Pro G, one of the players that we see for Nihilum, fancies himself to be one of the best Kerrigan players, if not the best Kerrigan player in Europe. And he's one of the reasons why quite often Kerrigan is banned out against Nihilum. Oftentimes when you see the draft, suddenly there's a Kerrigan ban that wildly disappears in the game, and you're like, whoa, why exactly did that happen? He's the reason why. And this is the first game where Alternate Fancy didn't ban out Kerrigan. So Alex can finally show off his Kerrigan skills, and we're going to find out if it's enough to win game number 2 and carry the series into the 3rd game.
Alright guys, welcome to game number 2, Blackheart's Bay, and we are at the end of the Storm 2 Finals! Our first day here, and the best of 3 series between Nihilum and Team Alternate Fancy is kicking us off. And currently Team Alternate Fancy, starting to the left here, is in the lead after taking the first map. And as is, we're having Devis on Falstad, Happy on Rhaegar, Crosby on Kelthas, Blumby on Mirrodin, and Darkmog on Illidan. To the right side of the map, Alex the Pro G, aka Alex the Frog, on Kerrigan. We have Taz Dingo on Sylvanas, Khaldor on Jaina, Stork on Anubarak, and Vontil on Malfurion. Oh boys, this is going to be a great game, and you, seriously, like, when I look at these team combinations and I see what Alternate has in this game, I'm just like saying, oh my god, is that annoying. Like, if you play these days against the Kelthas, against the Illidan, these are the heroes that you want on your team, not on the opponent's team. Not because they're unbeatable, but just because they're so annoying. But then again, we have Kerrigan being played here, and Alex, I mean, he has a lot of hype to live up to right now, doesn't he? Because, well, he claims to be one of the best, if not the best, Kerrigan player in Europe, and that's one of his chances to really show that. So do your thing, my friend, and amaze us. Blow us away. Blow our socks off. The first wave up at the top, that's being blown to pieces immediately. That's what you oftentimes do here before the first chest spawns. You want to get the experience from the top wave, and then you just move into the middle. You take this one, and Alternate already realized that they're not going to get the one in the middle, so they're just moving with the more players down to the bot lane and trying to get this one. Stork is currently holding the bot lane, but Alex is already there. Alex on his carpet with Kerrigan, but apparently doesn't really want to go for it just yet. An interesting touch is that Rhaegar did not go for Healing Ward on level 1, but instead went for the Colossal Totem. This is one of the things that you see a bit more often these days, because Healing Wards are not as strong anymore as they were in the past. Illidans, though, are still as strong as they were in the past. And Darkmog is not only rocking that Master Skin, but he has also the skills to go with that, and jumps in, takes Malfurion down. So right now we have a kill for a kill already. No, actually we have only 1 kill, sorry. I was a bit too fast on that. We're having on level 1 Sweeping Grasp taken on Kerrigan, so pretty normal what you see there, just like trying to make sure that you have the additional range on your Primal Grasp, which is really important. Taz Dingo is jumping back here already, dodging, nice, the Flame Strike, I like it. So make sure that at least for now Crosby is not going to get too much damage in. Kerrigan already with the turn in, so Alex split off from the rest of the team and just said, alright boys, I'm going to turn these 5 in because I want to go ham. Go ham or go home, and I definitely don't want to go home just yet, so he wants to go full deep, and for that, having those 5 coins is probably not the best idea. You really want to make sure that you get rid of them as fast as you can if you're on one of the melee assassins. And he's already starting to jump in, waits a bit with the stun, gets it in, lockdown, and Illidan is dead. Alex with the skills already. This is one of the reasons why Kerrigan is banned out against the Nihilum so often. Let's see if they can win this game on the back of Kerrigan's stuns, or if Team Alternate Fancy is going to take that here. Interesting touch, by the way. We've been talking about this in the past already, but in case that you are just now watching for the first time, I'm going to go over that once again. Oh, well, maybe you don't get the chance for that, because again the stun comp, and he gets all of them, doesn't he? Alex with another one, and a second stun comp successful, second kill for Nihilum. But yeah, I wanted to talk a bit about the level 4 talent that we're seeing on the hero that just died, Khaldor. Oftentimes you see Gathering Power taken on Khaldor, and one of the reasons behind that is of course that you want to do additional damage. The problem with Khaldor is that he's very squishy, and oftentimes you won't be able to keep those Gathering Power stacks alive. You won't be able to keep them up. And if you go instead for Netherwind on level 4, it does not only give you additional survivability, because you can just get that out a bit faster and make sure that you can get an opponent away from you. So you can also use that for a stunlock setup. For example, you start with a Storm Ball, then you go for the Nilum. You can really do a whole lot of damage with that if you sync it up with the rest of your teammates. And talking about damage, at the bot lane, Muradin is already jumping in, and Kerrigan gets a taste of her own medicine. Stork moves back with a quick burrow strike in the last second before he gets locked down. But yeah, that's of course one of the risks that you are running. And that's also where the talent on Khaldor comes into play, because he can really help with that. Just making sure that the target is not only stunned once, but is able for a couple of seconds, and then you always have the time to put the damage in. Damage is also something that Nihilum tries to apply here, which is why we're seeing a double Envenom taken by them. And Kerrigan is of course one of the standard talents, and on Sylvanas the same is true. Kerrigan going for battle momentum on level 7 here with the unstable poison taken by Sylvanas, and again the stun comp. Alex is getting all those in. And yeah, he's actually impressing already with this, but still, it is kind of even in the game. There's no team that has a significant advantage at this point. We're currently having on Boomerang taken, okay, Boomerang taken on level 7, so this is not going to be a right-click build for him. We're having Happy already moving in up at the top. Gathering Power also taken for Falstad in this case. And there's Happy with 7 coins on Rhaegar. Rhaegar is actually a really, really good hero to carry the coins, just because he can usually run away pretty fast with his wolf form. That works quite well. You are kind of safe if you want to be. And we see Piercing Bolt taken on the side of Muradin. So the thing with Muradin these days is that on level 7, even if you go for a Thunderclap build, you always have the option to go into Battle Momentum if you want to get more Thunderclaps and more spells out in the game or in the fight. But if you're just trying to be a bit of a nuisance and trying to be annoying, then a Piercing Bolt can actually be pretty awesome, because you will basically get guaranteed 1 stun, maybe even 2. And it also works well against the beetles, because oftentimes when you're running against the Nuburak, you will hit a beetle with your Storm Bolt. If you have Piercing Bolt on the other hand, you will definitely hit the target behind it, so it just goes through it. And that's a perfect example here. Thank you very much, Bloomy. We have also the build on Nuburak. That's something that we haven't really touched upon yet, and I want to talk about this just a bit, since these days the Beetle build is so extremely popular. The Beetle build is good, don't get me wrong, it's really strong. But what we're seeing here on the side of the Nuburak is just a build where you try to go for the extended range on your spikes, so for on the Impale and also on the Burrow Charge. And that is very, very cool. So at this point you can really be the deep initiator that wants to go in for that. Oh, Alex is maybe in a bit of trouble here, jump by 4, tries to get away. And that's the problem when you don't run adaptation on level 7, that you can't jump to your allies. And in this case, it meant that Kerrigan died, but they might get Happy. And if they get Happy, now that Devis flies in, with Devis' help, they can actually push them back. Happy didn't lose his coins, he's still alive, but they get the kill against Malfurion. So it's 2 kills, actually basically 3 kills if you count Kerrigan as well, against 0 in this engagement. Both of the teams are on level 10 though. We had Tasdingo for a long time just soaking experience in the top lane, and it really pays off for his team. Regarding turn-ins, there was only 1 so far, but we have Alternate Fancy getting a turn-in now as well, and with that they will be able to apply a bit more pressure to the mid lane, where they already took 2 of the towers down, so this fort is going to die. You only need to eliminate half of the hit points of 1 tower, so that the first turn-in is able to drop the fort, and in this case it's going to be, of course, an easy easy peasy thing for the Ghost Ship to take that out. We have, in this case, no Web Blast. Running as a single tank, Locust Swarm just gives you a bit of additional sustain, and therefore it's a great talent to take here. We're having Tranquility, use on Malfurion, Water Elemental, Wailing Arrow, and also the Maelstrom. Could later maybe even see the Omega Storm if this game goes to level 20. And we're having in this case also now the Hinterland Blast, which always shocks and awes me. Also the heroic ability on Devis with Ancestral Healing, Phoenix of course being taken, Avatar and Metamorphosis. Another attempt to turn in apparently by Alex here. Still a slight experience lead for Alternate Fancy. They are rotating very well on the map in this case, and Darkmoke of course is so good on Illidan on this map, or Illidan is so good on this map in general, just because he can solo most of these camps and then you get the coins in the turn. And oh, triple stun here, the Phoenix comes into and immediately an attempt to disengage, but maybe it's already a bit too late. The Hinterland Blast takes Malfurion away too early. Rolly gets annihilated by that jump. Illidan is going deep, real deep, and tries to take another target down. Already another stun thanks to Muradin, but the rest of the team is getting away. Dingo, Stork, and Alex the Frog are still alive, but they are falling behind in experience, and they're falling behind fast. They are currently looking at a level 13 coming in very soon. They're trying to chase distance. Everybody is extremely low on the side of Alternate Fans, but Kerrigan is about to die here as well. There comes the last totem from Happy, trying to maybe lock somebody down, but he's a bit too late for that. The 13 talent, though, is now on the board for them, and with that, they are having a massive lead in this one now. Up to the top, we're currently having a fort being attacked now as well, and that fort is going to be taken down by the Bruiser camp for sure. In the mid lane, they are fighting once again. Oh, the stun lock against Stork, but he gets away. And of course, by now, we're having Flamethrower taken. With Flamethrower, this is just like the preparation move for your level 16 talent. Ignite then will also add living bombs to every single target that is being hit by a flame strike, and that is where the damage of Kel'Thas absolutely multiplies. Arcane Intellect taken on the side of Jaina here, by the way, so we're going to see her not running out of mana anytime soon. It's one of those talents where you have different choices, and well, basically you have choices for every single talent, but for most of them, or for a lot of them, there's kind of one standard building competitive play right now, not so for Jaina. There are a few options that you have on level 4, and Venom and Snowstorm being two of them. But Burning Rage taken on the side of Meridian, so they even want to apply a bit more damage. We have also the evasion talent on 13 taken for Illidan. That's going to help him, especially against someone like Sylvanas, as we talked about in the draft already. Sylvanas' arrow, her Q, ignores the shield of Illidan because it only negates right-click damage, auto-attack damage. But in this case, we're having suddenly Alternate pushing in the bot lane. And the big problem on a map like this is that if you lose too many structures to your opponent simply pushing, then it means that these turn-ins that we are seeing are going to attack your inner circle. So the turn-ins will be more effective because they attack the more important structures. And if you have the really cheap turn-ins still ready when you already took down most of the keeps of your opponent, then he's in a lot of trouble when you finally start to turn in your opponents. Alex the Pro G is running away here, has sprint, but might die. He's still alive somehow thanks to his shield. How is Alex still alive? How on God's green earth is Alex still alive? How is he surviving this? He's finally dead, but not before he killed nearly the entire team with the help of his teammates. Everybody was focused on Kerrigan. They were trying to drop her, but now all of a sudden that's 24 coins for Nihilum. What's going on here? What on earth was that? Kerrigan kept herself alive, just dishing damage out the entire time, and thanks to the trade, her shield came up over and over again. She got healed in the last second and barely survives that fight. An entire team wipe against Alternate. It looked so good for them. It looked amazing, but now suddenly Nihilum is back to business. And this is, wow, this is just, that's bad news for Alternate, I'd say, but that is amazing for Nihilum. Sprint on Kerrigan and on Jaina, Burning Rage for the extra damage. It's basically a mini immolation that we're seeing on Anubarak, and of course the ice block on the side of Malfurion to keep him alive in those team fights even a bit longer. What a battle. That last one was crazy good, and now all of a sudden could they maybe get another kill against Happy? heals himself. Here comes the lockdown from Kerrigan, and goodbye Rhaegar. Oh god, alternate. They have to be careful. All these coins are being turned in. They might have been able to contest it in the mid, but they didn't get the chance to do that. Alex the Frog, Alex the Progy, he is currently rocking this here. This is one of the reasons why his Kerrigan is so notorious and being banned out all the time. And all of a sudden they have a triple blood for blood that they can use here. A hardened focus on Malfurion, which will help him to get the heals in those fights. They go for boss because they can. Ignite, of course, on 16, also absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy talent, and that's going to make it a bit more difficult in the team fights for Nihilum, but so far they are riding the momentum train and they're doing it well. We're having them with the boss taken out. That could be another turn-in for them if they move into the middle. They don't have the coins just yet, but they could pick off a few. For example, here at that small camp, we're having also Giant Killer taken level 13 for Falstad and Overdrive. Talking a bit about Rhaegar, who did not pick Blood for Blood at level 16, but instead went for the Earthgrass Totem. These days, since the Healing Totem is not as strong anymore as it was in the past, you oftentimes see Colossal Totem taken, and then of course the Earthgrass Totem talent on level 16 just has great synergy with that. One of them just slows the target down even more. Basically, it's like a mini stun, and the other one has an even bigger radius, which is absolutely awesome for you. So yeah, nice to see that. Nice to see these changes. Also no Feral Lunge, but instead Healing Surge. And what's even more interesting, I want to say, is that we have Chain Reaction taken right now on level 4. I didn't even see that just yet. So that's a new one. Chain Reaction taken on level 4 for Rhaegar here. Oftentimes it's Feral Heart that will be used, or Farsight, but not so in this game. It is a very interesting one. So apparently, yeah, you are increasing your heals even more. I guess like if you're running an Illidan, you want to have that shield first on him anyways. So I don't know, like, I never really tested it if it really increases the numbers by this much, but let's look at the numbers in general just a bit. 25,000 heal on the side of Rhaegar. We're having 18,000 heal on the side of, Nihilum. The boss, by the way, didn't really do too much damage to this lane, just was able to drop, of course, a bit at the top and push him back. There's already a bit of a trap. It's not really a bush, but it's the party smokescreen, apparently, that we are seeing here. In regards to damage, Kerrigan at 13,000, leading the chart is still, well, actually, who's it? It is, yeah, hero damage taken. It's actually Anubarak, thanks to Burning Rage. Burning Rage, of course, well, he's in the middle of things the entire time. Like, he's always straight in the middle doing his thing, and that's what we're currently seeing here already. So Stark already in position, trying to take down another creep wave. They took the Bruiser camp. This is like the phase in the game where both of the teams are aiming for level 20, and currently Nihilum is in a bit of a better position for that. They are on level 18 already. You want to have the extra talent. You can play around your opponent. You don't need to engage into battles if you don't want to. You can just like try to play the objectives on the map and turn in over and over again. Chests are happening once more, and this is the opportunity. Here comes Darkmok, jumps in. So far, no arrow by Sylvanas, doesn't go for the waiting arrow just yet. She needs to wait for Illidan, and that's exactly what she does. Whoa, the kill against the Nubarok thanks to the Hinterland Blast, though, but Muradin is dead as well. Here comes the potential kill against Illidan. No, he's getting healed, and that's exactly where the level 4 talent is coming into play once more. Ancestral healing in the last second, and now it is time to go for the cleanup job. Taz Dingo goes down, or actually Taz Dingo survives and takes Illidan down the other way around. He hit a very good wailing arrow earlier when they were trying to focus on Illidan, but he was just a bit too tanky, thanks to Happy doing all that healing work. Very good job. And to be honest, without the level 4 talent in this case, Illidan would have died. That extra heal definitely made the difference, because he was about to drop and then Ancestral Healing finally kicked in. So great job. But even with that turn-in, that is going to hit the mid now, it's not going to take the keep. And I still think that they will reach level 20 at roughly the same time. And then it's all about the team fights. It's all about which fight are you able to win. Because none of these teams, in my opinion, will have a big timing window where they can say, okay, we have level 20, our opponent doesn't. We're going to use that talent to force a fight and take our opponents down. So right now, that's exactly what they're going to try and do. But camps are still on the map, and that's where both teams are headed. Lumbi is going for the Bruiser camp. We're having also Stork already moving in up over here, making sure, well, he should actually, after he gets this wave, making sure that they get the Siege Giant camp, and that's exactly what they're going for. Yep, there they are already on the move. Talent number 20, not taken yet by all of the members of Team Alternate. There it is. Demonic Form, Hardened Shield for Muradin. That makes him nearly invulnerable for 4 seconds. It's absolutely amazing. 75% less damage. It's great. Rhaegar didn't take his talent yet. Probably going to be a Storm Shield for him. And here's the 20 versus 20. Deafening Blast taken on Sylvanas for the longer stun and more damage. I like it. I really like it. Longer silence, of course, instead of longer stun. And that's a good one, but he needs to wait. It is really all about timing here. And it is indeed Storm Shield. Storm Shield or for Rhaegar. And we're also having one on Malfurion. Now, once again, here comes the jump stalk, already initiating it through the backline, but he's extremely low. What a silence. This was a really good one, and Kel'Thas is down. Happy tries to heal himself, but he dies too. Devis is about to be dropped, but Stork, yes, Stork gets him, and it's nearly a team wipe again. Only Blumby surviving. He's jumping back. The Dwarf is on the run. Immer auf die kleinen Dicken. Blumby already moving back here, and he is not getting spared. Alex the Pro G again with a good stun comp, and Nihilum says like, boys, this is game, go mid and take this down. The turn-in is completed. They want to finish this. They are going in with Sylvanas with a trade, the Black Arrow disabling their keep, and they're going straight for it. They have another 30 seconds. This is the kill on the keep, and okay, they can finally attack the core, and that's exactly what they are doing. They're going for the kill here. They want to tie this series up. They want to go into game number 3, and there is nobody here to stop them. Great job by Nihilum in this game, and Kerrigan delivers Alex the Pro G with great play, and we are going to see a third map between these two teams here in the best of 3 series at the end of the Storm Finals.
Whoa, that game. Kerrigan coming completely through here for Nihilum. A great match, a lot of battles, really back and forth the entire time, and then at the end it is Nihilum that wins the match, and Kerrigan, I mean, I can't believe that last fight there. Kerrigan kept herself alive throughout the entire battle, stunning people left and right, of course, always everybody from Nihilum jumping in, trying to kill, trying to do something, and Alternate Fantasy, they really wanted her dead. But they could only kill her at the end of the battle when most of her teammates were already like ripping them apart. So really well played here by Nihilum. The series is tied, therefore we go into game number 3. And guys, this is also going to be a good one. Sky Temple is going to be played here, and we have that roaming squad again. It's actually one of the reasons why a lot of teams are banning out either Mirrodin or Tyrande. Usually it's Tyrande against Team Alternate Fantasy. Also, by the way, against Na'Vi, because both of these teams rely heavily on a Mirrodin and Tyrande roaming comp on a lot of maps. And it's just so difficult to beat those. Again, also, they're playing it with Zeratul here. Not Illidan this time, but a Zeratul once more on Sky Temple for Alternate Fantasy. Let's find out if Nihilum can take them down on this last map and advance, or if Alternate Fantasy will be the victor in the best of 3 series and advance in the winners bracket.
Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the Storm Final Tournament. The first day, and we have our best of 3 series between Nihilum and Alternate Fantasy. In this game, we're having to the left side of the map, Nihilum. They won on Blackheart's Bay, they tied the series up, and they're running Alex the Pro G on Tacita now. Kerrigan, of course, instantly banned out after last game, and I don't blame Alternate Fantasy at all. Vaughn Tilligans on Malfurion, we have Vrolik on Jaina, Taz Dingo on Sylvanas, and Stock playing Anubarak. Currently to the right side, Alternate Fantasy with Blumby on Mirrodin, Happy on Brightwing, Crosby on Falstad, Devis on Tyrande, and Darkmok on Zeratul. So once again, we are seeing that Mirrodin Tyrande roaming squad on the map, and that is going to be a fun one, because there are quite a few squishies on the side of Nihilum, and yeah, what we need to see here is how exactly does Nihilum try to protect them. They have a Tacita, they have also Malfurion, so they have 2 heroes that can really help with that. And let's see. Down here, Darkmok, Devis, and Blumby already running around. I'm really liking that Tyrande skin, by the way. That's going to be on sale next week as well. Blizzard is really killing me with these sales. There's too much good stuff to buy, and that skin is really nice. And I was thinking about getting that myself, but I'm not quite sure yet. That carpet, though, is mine. Mine is the carpet. Yeah, Blumby and Devis, as I already said, that's the roaming squad that you will see on the map. Alex already spotting them and moving away, moving back to the mid lane here. We have Darkmok also in the vicinity, and currently Nihilum is trying this with a tri-lane up at the top, trying to just like push that in as fast as they can. Talking about the early talents, Reverberation Mirrodin is by now nearly a must-have. We're seeing, of course, on Tyrande, Ranger's Mark taken, Power Throw on Falstad. Also not really a big surprise to see that here. Here comes the potential lockdown. 1 stun, 2 stuns, and the heal is there, but it's a bit too late. Yeah, Rolik with that position was unfortunately a bit too far out. It's a very... You have to play extremely passive against this setup. It's super unfortunate. You're always tempted to burst these towers down and do something about it, but if you just move out once a bit too much, then you're going to be locked down immediately. And there it is already. 1 stun, 2 stun, and Alex goes down in the mid lane. Yep, that's exactly the power of this roaming squad. If you hit that hard, if you go for that Tyrant and Meridian combo and you know how to roam with that, then you can do a whole lot of damage. And that's exactly what's going on. Rolik, aka Khaldor, is moving into the mid lane right now to soak the experience because, well, Tacita is dead. To the top lane we have Bo3 and Tazdingo trying to cap at least one of the shrines. Happy is already there and took Arcane Precision on level 1. Didn't go for Bribe or any of the other talents that he could have taken here. Uh-oh, Tazdingo with a wrong spot to try and be backed. So he needs to be healed, but yeah, at least he didn't die in this case. 2 kills against 0, but that was to be expected in the early game. The only question is how will they go into the mid game? What about that second temple that is going to spawn at the bot lane? That's going to be the important one, and a good kill against Happy. Brightwing, not so bright right now, right? And Tazdingo together with his 2 allies up here, getting at least the first kill on the board for his team. We're seeing on Tacita still healing ward taken. Mental Acuity would have been an option for him, I suppose, but we don't see that right now. Instead, it is still the healing ward, even though it got a bit nerfed in the last patch. Actually got nerfed pretty hard, to be honest. We're seeing Stork going for the same build that he already showed us once on his Anubarak, but here comes Blumby. They're trying to go in again. Darkmorg is applying the damage. Blumby with the stuns, and with a quick blink, Darkmorg takes down Malfurion. So Malf is dead once more. Went on level 4 for the protective shield. Bot lane, the fight between Crosby and Stork, and so far it's an even exchange between the two of them. The big problem really is that Nihilum is starting to fall behind in experience a lot. And that's not so much because of the kills, like not as a direct result. It's not the experience that really matters here. It's losing the experience on the lane for the team that loses a hero that really matters. If you don't have anybody to soak the XP, then you fall behind. Killing a hero doesn't really give you as much XP as you might think, especially not in the early stages of the game. Not really in Heroes of the Storm. Normally it's more about those death timers and how long the hero will be out of the game. And in this case, this is one of the things that we're currently seeing there. Bo3 up at the top is trying to at least get some experience for his boys, so that they have the additional talent once that the bottom temple is going to be activated. And this is going to be a really important one. I could actually at this point even see Nihilum not even trying to contest it. Depends a bit on how much longer it takes for the temple to be started. Temples normally spawn or are announced 2 minutes after the shot of the last temple went out. So it should be like another minute, roughly, I think, until the temple is being announced here. Rolik, Tazdingo, and Alex the Pro G trying to get their own camp. Level 7 versus level 8, so the talent is there, but Jaina is already dead. It's that burst, and Jaina was always a bit of a glass cannon. Darkmorg blinks away just before he goes down. They're still trying to get the Siege Giant camp, and they will be able to get it. Temple activates already, a bit faster than I thought, and that means that we are having 2 of the camps pushing in, and I think it's very, very unlikely that Nihilum is really trying to contest this bottom temple now. They're still an entire level behind, and they have Malfurion at the top lane. He needs to take down that mule, though. Like, if he really wants to push that in, and there we go. Okay, now goes for the mule, takes that one out. Mule taken on level 7 by Tyrande. Tyrande still went on level 4 for the protective shield. And when we're talking Zeratul, we talk about that old school right click or auto attack build with Wobble Blades on level 4 and Searing Attack on level 7. He already showed that in game number 1 of the day and was very successful with it. So much pressure thanks to Zeratul to all of the squishes in the game, and that means especially Malfurion and Jaina. For them it's going to be nice to hit level 13 because then they can finally rely on their ice block, and with that they might be able to survive that and take it from there. But level 10 is already available to Team Alternate Fancy, and they are moving in again to take down Rolik. Rolik taken down for the 3rd time in the game, I feel. Here comes even a Void Prison setup. They want to trap all of these guys, and they are only getting... No, they're not getting nobody. They used 2 heroic abilities and they didn't get a kill for it. Whoa, that's a bit unfortunate for them, I feel, but still, it's not like there's a dire consequence because of it. They're losing a bit of experience at the bot lane in the middle, I suppose, but that's about it. So, yeah, level 10 is going to hit pretty soon for Nihilum, but right now it's just not there. They are falling behind, and that means they're losing structures. And similar to Blackguard's Bay, if you lose structures on Sky Temple, that is going to come back and bite you once that the additional temples are going to be announced, and that's definitely going to happen. Alex the Pro G is already sitting right over here. Bloomby is checking out the... I don't think they're going to go for a boss. You can't go for a boss call at this point. Yeah, a level ahead, but that level is not as important as it would be if you had an additional talent. So for now, we're seeing the heroic abilities finally ready for Nihilum, and Tranquility, Locust, Swarm, Wailing, Arrow, Water Elemental, and Archon are the weapons of choice for the team. But still, they need to win a team fight, and they need to win it big time. Here comes the attempt. Oh, I like it. They even used the Wailing Arrow. Dingo in the back was just like, alright, screw this. Better safe than sorry. I want this dwarf to die. And he uses the Wailing Arrow to make sure that he can't get away here, that he can't just like simply jump out. Well done. And now they have some momentum going for them, and that might be the opportunity that they were looking for. Brightwing is going for the counter pressure up at the top lane though, and that's the big thing that Brightwing can do. Always be at the other end of the map, soak experience, make sure that he gets that, and once his team needs it, he just jumps in with a face shield. And that's exactly what they're trying to do there. Already Rolik, they're stealing a camp away, but Dark Mok is trying to fly in right now. Also rocking the carpet here. Level 13 is going to hit much faster for the team to the right, for the red team. At least it should. Temple taken at the top. Maybe. No, Brightwing is moving in for it. He's apparently trying to take it, but he can always jump back down, which we already talked about, and that is when Nihilum is currently concentrating on taking at least a few shots of this temple. But there is still posturing around. Team Alternate Fancy, Brightwing jumping in, they want to go for it. Darkmok already moving back. Here comes the Void Prism. They're trying to go for Rolik again, but they're starting to miss a few of their spells here. Starfall is already being used, and we're having them moving in immediately against Stork, who gets healed by Malfury, and there comes Tranquility. He keeps everybody alive. Vorntil keeping everyone alive here, and they're trying to get at least a kill against, well, against Tyrande, maybe against Brightwing. Tyrande is down, and Brightwing is jumping away thanks to the blink heal. So they get one kill out of this, but the level 13 talent is now ready. It was a bit too late to really help Alternate Fancy in the last fight. It came in at just a few seconds too late. There's again Assassin's Blade taken for Zeratul. They're trying to rotate through the map now with an overflowing light on Tyrande for the extra heal, which doesn't really help her too much since she's already dead. And we're also seeing on the side of Thunderstrike actually taken in this case instead of the shield, and Ice Block, which we saw in action with Burning Rage on Muradin, who goes for extra damage. So right now the bot temple still has a couple of shots, not too many, but there's still a few, and it looks like even with a hero down, it's just going a bit too well for Alternate Fancy. The kill count is 3 versus 5. Tassadar at least is at the bot lane and is currently using this one. So yep, there we go. Moving back, and Falstad, he wants him. Falstad wants Tassadar, he wants him bad apparently. But there is already Vorntil for the heal, and Rolik is there now too. Dark Mork is threatening to jump in with the Zeratul again, but yeah. It's pretty cool actually that he goes for a talent like Assassin's Blade. Wormhole is like the talent to take on Zeratul, right? Jump in, jump out. That's what you always want to do for the poke, and it's just so annoying. But Damo just simply says like, yeah, I don't need that. With the right-click build that I have, I do so much more damage against a single target if I go for Assassin's Blade instead. And Wormhole is nice, but I get better results with this. Now I'm loving this. I'm really, really loving it. Prescience taken for Tassadar, not going into Shrink Ray or any kind of those shenanigans, which you could have gone for. Again, the setup with the Void Prism. Alex the Pro G already. Oh, there comes the quick Hinterland Blast. Oh, and Tassadar is down. Darkmok just barely survives, but he survives. It doesn't look like Brightwing is going to make it, though. Brightwing is down, but Jaina is dead now, too. Another kill against Tyrande. It's a 3 versus 3, but Sylvanas is pressured and dying now as well. They're trying to take Darkmok out, but Darkmok just jumps away every single time. Vorntil keeping himself alive for another second thanks to the ice block, but everybody is now dead. The only survivor is Stork, and he can't turn this fight around anymore. They're ignoring him. They're basically just saying like, yeah, that beetle is a bit too fat. We can't kill him just now. The beetle is a bit like a cockroach, I have to say. Like, it's even if you kill it, there's always like 2 more popping up. In this case, though, they're apparently trying to exterminate the problem, and yes, they do. Stork down, diving a bit too far. Stork should have moved back. I actually don't understand why he was diving after Zeratul. I feel the chances for him to really take that hero down were slim to none, and he should have known that there are still 2 more heroes at least in the vicinity, because they just left at the same time as Zeratul did. So him diving in this hard, yeah, a bit of a suicidal move. Like, moving back would have at least kept them alive. Like this, they are now down her tank for another 15 seconds, 10 at this point. Temples are active, 2 in the middle of the map. We're having another one up to the top lane right now, so let's see. Down here, it's currently Alex the Prodigy who starts to rotate to the right once again. They're apparently trying to go straight for... Nah, they can't go for boss. But they were trying to see if their opponents were doing it. 16 talents now with Berserk taken on Zeratul. We're having also Tyrande with the True Shot aura, Stoneform and Muradin, Quitterize on Brightwing, and also the Overdrive talent on Falstad, which just gives him additional burst power here. Stoneform and Muradin is just like so great. You normally try to activate it once that your avatar is active so that you can get a lot more heal with it, but the talent in general is just absolutely amazing. As are the 16s that we are seeing for the other team though. To the left side, Nihilum running in with a double Blood for Blood with Hardened Shield. Hardened Focus. And also, in this case, the Northern Exposure. The fight in the middle is really the important one right now. 16 versus 17. Not all is lost just yet for Nihilum. They can turn it around. Oh, that was bad communication between the players on the side of Alternate. That was a bad Void Prism, considering that Falstad already wanted to use his Hinterland Blast. But they get the first kill. They take the tank out, and Bloomby is too tanky, especially with Stoneform already there. Once again, Alex trying to get away, but they get the kill against Malfurion. Even with the bad coordination between Hinterland Blast and Void Prism, they still kill 2 heroes immediately. Taz is blinking away to his Haunting Wave, is trying to escape here, but they are chasing him, and they are chasing him hard. They are driving him in front of them, and now he is going to die. So Sylvanas is now down as well, and that means an immediate move towards the boss. They're trying to cap that as fast as they can, and then with the boss they will be able to put more pressure on the bot lane, and that is going to help them to capture the shrine in the middle and up at the top if they want to, and that's exactly what it looks like. They let the boss push the bot lane, and they themselves move into the mid, move to the top, try to take those 2 temples, and with that they will start to put pressure on the keep in the top lane. They will also do the same thing in the mid lane, and the boss will force a reaction out of Nihilum at the bottom lane. So great pressure throughout the entire map. It's really good for them right now. Very, very nice setup here for Alternate Fancy. Nihilum is definitely in trouble at this point. They were already behind before, you know, just like trying to get better experience. But if you take a fight on level 17 versus 18, it's not really a disaster. Like, it's only a bit of a stat advantage that the opponent has. It's all about the talents here, and the talent level is at 16. The problem is that the next one hits at 20, and well, Nihilum is miles away from level 20. So it looks like, at least for now, Alternate is going to hit that level much, much faster, and that could be the momentum that they simply need. If that's the momentum that they need, then yeah, that's all. I mean, for now, really, it's just all about like winning a team fight. If you win another team fight, Nihilum might be able to come back, but it has to be a decisive one. And the last few fights didn't really indicate that they can pull that off. 5 kills against 13 so far. So Nihilum, they are trying to be aggressive right now. They're saying like all or nothing. We have to do something here. We can't just simply let them keep the map and wait. If they have the level 20 talent and temples spawn again, we have to contest, but we can't. So it's a loss-loss situation. So let's just try and push something in, get some experience points. If they fight us, then we have to take the fight, but we have to do something here to start to get even at least, so that we are not lagging too much behind when they hit level 20. And that's what they're going for right now. So we have them with at least a few towers taken out at the bot lane, but the 20 talent is going to hit so soon. So soon for Alternate fans. It's also the reason why they didn't even engage. They were just sitting there and were just saying like, alright boys, yeah, you can wreck that wall, like help yourself, but we are going to hit 20. And then every single temple on this map is going to belong to us. And even more than that, more important is that if we want, we can just simply move in, force a team fight, push one of your forts or one of your keeps, and then I wish you good luck defending against them. And that's exactly what's currently going on here. So right now, up at the top lane, at least another camp already taken by Team Nihilum. The team that loses here, by the way, is in the losers final, guys. Sorry, not in the losers final, but in the losers bracket. So it's not like the team is completely out of the tournament just yet. We have a losers bracket. We actually have a loser bracket, and this is going to be super exciting as well, because there's going to be a lot of teams that are extremely strong at the end of this tournament that will fight in the losers bracket final. We're having currently at the bot lane, we have Stark. Actually, that sentence didn't make any sense. It's going to be exactly 2 teams that are in the losers bracket final, but there's going to be a lot of good teams in the losers bracket just because this tournament is so stacked. I guess that makes a bit more sense, but yeah, that sounded funny even to me. So right now, a B back, keep at the top lane has already been demolished, but as you can see, Nihilum is going a bit for a YOLO move and move in, therefore also pushing the opponents back from the top shrine or from the top temple. But there's Nexus Frenzy on Falstad. We're having 2 Storm Shields. The tankiness in this game on the side of the Alternate is right now on Mirrodin especially is insane. A double Storm Shield on top of your avatar, your Stone Form and your Hardened Shield. Oh my god. Like, he's never gonna die. And the only thing that Nihilum bought with that attempted attack towards the bottom keep is they bought themselves some time. And they're currently trying to utilize that time. We're having Alex, the Pro Giab at the top, trying to just like push that wave back, which he of course is easily going to accomplish. Up to the top lane, we're having Happy as the only one standing on the temple and trying to get the rest of the shots in. Can't really do that just now, but it's not like Nihilum is threatening them. But there's a level 20, and I mean, we've seen it in the last game, guys. We've seen in the last game how fast a game can turn, right? So now we're going for it once again, for the team fight, for the opportunity that Nihilum has to turn things around here. Level 20 versus 20. The problem is the structures. There's only there's actually like 1 keep only alive for Nihilum. The one in the middle died, the one at the top died, the only one that they still have is the one down here to the bottom. Whereas all 3 keeps are still alive for their opponents. Once again, they have to TP back because, well, Alternate Fancy is already starting to move in. So basically, it's like both of the teams really trying to deny that top temple to the opponent's team. Really trying to make sure that nobody can move in for this one. Very strategic movements on the map right now, and that's one of the few chances that Nihilum has at this point. If they lose it here, then we are going to see then we're going to see Alternate Fancy move on to the next round, which could be a potential match against Team Liquid. So up to the top now, finally the temple taken again by Brightwing this time, and we're also having the watchtower scouted out and taken control of. Looking at the talents again, just in case that you didn't see those builds, 11 20 talents of course with a Deafening Blast, with the Hardened Shield. We're having a Bolt of the Storm, aka Blink, on Jaina. Yeah, Jaina. What am I talking about? And we're having Storm Shield plus Twilight Archon. Yeah, they're going for a keep. They're actually starting to do well here, but there's going to be a Void Prism any second now. And there it is. Great Void Prism. Taz is jumping into the Void Prism. Gets blasted away by the Hinterland Blast though, and now they are all fair game. Tassadar is about to die, moves back with the Prescience and also this Dimensional Warp. They're all just trying to escape. This is not a fight, this is a slaughter, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolute slaughter, a disaster for Nihilum. They lose Tazdingo right at the start. They lose Stalk, and now Alex the Pro G is being attacked too. He is in cooldowns. Mirrodin throws that hammer into his face with all his might. Doesn't only break the front teeth, but just crushes the entire skull. Down goes Tassadar, and that's a 5 versus 3. And at this point, of course, Alternate just says like, alright boys, this game is ours. Let's go for core and end this. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're moving in already. Darkmorg will be tempted to take down Mons Hill here. And yeah, he already puts the pressure on. Prosby is applying the pressure here against the core, and the core is dropping in hit points. 10 seconds on Sylvanas, but I don't think that it matters anymore. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game. The Mana Mule already being dropped here. Alternate Fancy advances to the next round of the Enter the Storm final tournament. Congratulations to them, taking down Nihilum with a 2-1.
Nihilum beaten, they drop into the losers bracket. Alternate Fancy successful on Sky Temple here. They take the map, and once again that Zeratul doing a whole lot of work, and that roaming squad as well. During all of those fights you could really see that these stun comps that they were using together with the Hunter's Mark just do so much damage, and they sniped heroes left and right in nearly all of these fights. So that was exceptionally good play and coordination on the side of Alternate Fancy. They win the best of 3, and they advance now in the Enter the Storm final tournament to the round of 8. Keep in mind, there's a lot of prize money on the line here. $5,000, that's the prize money alone, but there's also hardware prizes to win. So guys, this is a pretty big one. We have 3 days of content in general, on live content, but of course all of these VODs that we are casting live are also going to end up here on the channel. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. There's going to be a lot more coming in the next few days, and well, if you did, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. There's a lot of content coming your way. Heroes of the Storm is getting really big right now, and of course it would also be appreciated if you could share the channel with friends that are interested in Heroes of the Storm. You get all the esports content in the European scene here. Thanks for watching, guys. Gonna see you next time. Have a good week. Bye bye.